Madagascar is a destination that many are unaware of, but it holds a multitude of secrets and natural beauties, as well as a unique and fascinating culture. If you are thinking of visiting this piece of land that separated from the African continent millions of years ago, it is important to understand what awaits you, both in terms of stunning landscapes and the daily life of its inhabitants. What many do not know is that Madagascar is an island with an impressive diversity of flora and fauna, which cannot be found anywhere else on the planet. The people who live there, the vast majority of whom are of Malagasy ethnicity, have a deep connection with the land, and their traditions and lifestyles are full of mysteries, ranging from spiritual practices to family customs that seem surreal to Western eyes. But let's start with a crucial point: the cost of a trip to Madagascar. The average expense for a visitor depends on a number of factors, including the time of year, the type of trip, and the style of accommodation you choose. If you opt for a more economical trip, the average expense can be around $50 to $70 per day, considering accommodation in hostels or simple inns, local food, and basic transportation. Of course, if the goal is to explore Madagascar with a bit more comfort, this amount can increase significantly, easily reaching $150 or even $200 per day, especially if you choose resorts or exclusive guided tours. For those traveling in a group or opting for more independent tourism, costs tend to be more manageable. Now, if you think Madagascar is just nature and wildlife, get ready to be surprised. Life in Madagascar is as culturally rich as its ecosystem. From the capital, Antananarivo, to the small towns and villages scattered throughout the interior, there is a strong presence of cultural practices that are still lived in people's daily lives. One of the most interesting aspects of Malagasy social life is the way people relate to death and ancestors. Many Malagasy believe that ancestors have an active role in daily life, and therefore, they often celebrate rituals of communication with the dead, such as the Famadihana, a ceremony that involves exhuming the bodies of deceased relatives to change their shrouds and celebrate them. This type of ritual, which may seem strange at first glance, has a profound spiritual significance, and is a tradition that connects generations. Speaking of traditions, the women of Madagascar play a very important role within the communities. But the way their lives unfold also reflects the contrast between traditional values and modernity, which is beginning to infiltrate. In many regions, women are responsible for domestic tasks, agriculture, and the education of children. However, the social structure also allows some of them to occupy prominent positions, especially in urban areas, where access to education and the job market is broader. In more rural areas, women may still face more intense challenges in terms of access to rights and job opportunities. Although men play an important role in family and political decisions, Malagasy women have significant power within their homes and are often responsible for maintaining family harmony and supporting the children. However, in some ethnic groups, such as the Merina, women hold a figure of great respect, even being in charge of certain religious and spiritual rituals. If you are thinking of venturing into Madagascar, remember that every corner of this place is an invitation to mystery and discovery. And, more than ever, a trip to Madagascar requires an open mind and a willingness to embrace the unexpected. What you will find there is not just a tourist destination, but an immersion into a culture and an ecosystem that remain preserved as one of the planet's greatest secrets. Do not rush to understand everything because, in Madagascar, each day reveals a new facet, and every path taken can lead you to a new story. Now that you have an idea of what to expect from Madagascar in terms of cost and culture, it's time to dive a little deeper into the experiences you can have there. We are not just talking about visiting a natural zoo or relaxing on tropical beaches, but about deeply connecting with a unique place, full of cultural diversity and breathtaking landscapes. Madagascar, being an island isolated for millions of years, developed its own ecosystems, which have become a true paradise for scientists and tourists seeking something out of the ordinary. The fauna, as I mentioned before, is incredibly diverse, but one of Madagascar's greatest charms lies in how these animals interact with the natural habitat. The lemur, for example, is one of the country's most famous stars. These primates with big eyes and curious expressions are found in various parts of the island, but the Andasibe Mantadia National Park is one of the best places to observe them. In addition to lemurs, the park is home to a multitude of other endemic species, making Madagascar a living laboratory of evolution. However, it's worth remembering that to truly experience all of this, a local guide can be an excellent choice. They not only know the best places to observe these animals but also provide valuable information about Malagasy behavior and ecosystem. But what truly sets Madagascar apart from other tropical destinations is the sense of authenticity that the place conveys. At every corner, you feel immersed in a culture that, despite being influenced by colonial powers and other world cultures, uniquely preserves its own traditions. A clear example of this is the Famadiana, or the Dance of the Dead. This is a traditional Malagasy ritual that mainly takes place between June and September, in which families exhume the bodies of their ancestors to celebrate their memory. Although, at first glance this practice may seem macabre, it is a way to honor the deceased and reaffirm the eternal bond between the living and the dead. Another fascinating tradition, which gives us an idea of the Malagasy way of life, is the zebu. The zebu, a type of cattle typical of the region, plays a central role in wedding ceremonies and also in the country's economic life. The act of buying or selling a zebu is not just a commercial transaction, but also a way to demonstrate status and respect. During weddings, for example, the groom often offers a zebu as part of the dowry, a tradition that dates back centuries. Thus, Malagasy culture blends spirituality with pragmatism, respect for traditions, and adaptation to the new. In larger cities, access to education has allowed women to become more independent and take on leadership roles, challenging social norms and creating a new reality for future generations. Another interesting aspect of life in Madagascar is the strong connection between the Malagasy people and their African roots. The country, with its diverse ethnicities, still preserves a tribal structure. Music and dance play a vital role in celebrations and in communication in general. Each region has its own rhythms, dance styles and typical instruments. The parties, or fete, as they are called in Malagasy, are occasions full of joy and movement, where everyone gets involved to celebrate life, nature, and the unity of the community. Music is a powerful form of expression and, besides being heard at parties, it also accompanies the daily life of the Malagasy, from religious ceremonies to everyday conversations. But what really makes Madagascar so special is the feeling of being in a place where time seems to stand still. Life there is simple but full of meaning. The landscapes seem to come out of a dream, and the traditions like the fame of Anna and the tribal dances bring a rustic charm that makes you feel part of something much larger. Eating in Madagascar is a true sensory experience, full of exotic flavors and aromas, and by far, it is one of the best ways to connect with Malagasy culture. Speaking of which, food is not just fuel for the journey, but also a way to experience the country's traditions. Madagascar has a rich and diverse cuisine with African, Arab, and even French influences. In addition, tropical fruits like mango, pineapple, papaya, and coconut are present in practically every meal, and they are a true refreshment for the palate. Local markets offer a wide variety of fresh and affordable products, and they are the heart of communities in various parts of the country. Strolling through these markets not only offers a glimpse into daily life, but also provides an opportunity to practice the local language, Malagasy, and make friends with the vendors. However, the great highlight of Madagascar goes beyond the costs and the cuisine. The true magic of this place lies in its culture and the people who inhabit the island. Social interactions in Madagascar, whether with locals or other travelers, always have a unique energy, a feeling that time doesn't pass as quickly there. When you walk through the streets of Antananarivo or the villages in the more remote regions, it's as if you're touching something timeless. Malagasy hospitality is famous for being warm and genuine, and you will feel as if you are part of a big family. Its rock formations and deep valleys create a stunning backdrop for hiking and outdoor adventures. The trails vary in difficulty, but all offer unforgettable views of unique vegetation and landscapes that seem otherworldly. And don't forget to bring appropriate clothing and footwear, as the terrain can be quite rugged. Another must-see destination is Noziranja Bay, one of the most idyllic places on the island, with white sandy beaches and crystal-clear waters. If you enjoy water activities, this is the place to go diving, dolphin watching, and snorkeling. The islands around the bay offer an exclusive experience of tranquility, with resorts and small inns that blend harmoniously with the natural environment. This is a place to relax and contemplate paradise, far from the hustle and bustle of big cities. And, of course, when visiting Madagascar, you will always be reminded of the importance of preserving what is around you. The island faces serious environmental challenges, with deforestation and extinction of endemic species, and therefore, it is essential that tourists contribute positively by respecting nature and local communities. Many ecotourists choose experiences that involve sustainable tourism, where the focus is on respecting natural habitats and supporting local conservation initiatives. As your journey comes to an end, you will find yourself reflecting on everything you experienced in this place. Unforgettable. The exotic beauty of the island. The cultural richness and the strength of the Malagasy women stay with you, as a reminder that there are still many corners of the world waiting to be discovered, with secrets and stories that challenge the imagination. Madagascar, with its unique energy, a blend of serenity and adventure, is more than just a tourist destination. It is a life experience, something that goes beyond the landscapes, traditions, or animals. It is indeed a true journey to the heart of human nature and the unknown. And when you leave, the island of Madagascar will remain alive in your memory, always inviting you to return.